break, and it's time for us to get into our phone-in segment. Of course, it's a Friday. You know that we like to talk to you and like to hear from you. And so today we're going to have a conversation. Earlier in the week, the president came out to say that corruption is everywhere. It's not just about politicians. And I think we have a newspaper headline that he made that statement in, and so we'll show that to you. And so there you have it. Corruption is all over the place. It does not involve politicians alone. So that's where he said that. And so I think that's a very important thing for us to have this conversation. What do you guys make of that statement? That corruption is all over the place and it does not involve politicians alone. On Graphic Online, he made this statement. He says, this is the one that Graphic used, Akufo-Addo on how ordinary citizens engage in corruption. What do you think? What do you make of it? Now, let me just give you a definition of corruption from the dictionary, okay? A dictionary definition of corruption. It says here, this is coming from the Oxford Dictionary, it says, dishonest or fraudulent conduct by those in power, take note, by those in power, typically involving bribery, okay? And the uses, as an example, the journalist who wants to expose corruption in high places, right? So it's making reference to the fact that if we're talking about corruption, it's always about public office. Of course, the UN Convention on Corruption refers to corruption in public places by public officers. All right, so public officers, you're talking about members of the police force, members of government, members of parliament, you know. So people in high places and people in authority, this is, when you talk about corruption, it's in relation to them. People who are paid with taxpayers' money. All right. So what do you make of it? Is corruption truly everywhere? Should we look at it in that way, or should we as citizens be insistent on rooting out corruption from public office and public officers, and to name and shame those who are in public office and they are being paid by our money and yet they're being corrupt? What do you make of it? What do you think? Chris? What do you make of this whole idea of corruption is all over the place and doesn't involve only politicians alone?
Well, if we have to follow the definition, obviously,
yes.
We know who to be pointing at, you understand, when it comes to corruption.
Yeah.
But I understand what he's trying to say, but maybe the term shouldn't be corruption when it comes to the people that you are ruling.
Yeah.
You understand? Maybe we could just say breaking the rules or not.
Or crime, crime of different
or not
forms
following
of crime.
due processes to doing things right or not doing things right. But if you say corruption, I think it's a bit over the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the definition of it actually makes it quite obvious that it's in relation to people who have authority, people who have power and influence, right? So, for example, if I gave Chris money to facilitate something on my behalf, unless it involves a third person who is a public officer,
right,
it cannot be defined or described as corruption,
right,
you know, even though it may be a corrupt act.
Right.
The definition as we're using it, you know, both from the UN and even from just the English dictionary, the Oxford Dictionary, it cannot relate unless the third person involved. So I give her money and say, listen, I need this done. She says, oh, I know somebody, I can talk to them. And but he says he will take, 10,000 cedis. Right. And then I give her 10,000 cedis, she gives the person. If that person is a public officer, then it becomes corruption. Because it's bribery involving someone in a high place.
Yeah.
You see, but if the person is an ordinary citizen, then by definition, it's no longer corruption. Exactly. I don't know what you guys make of it.
I think for ordinary citizens, obviously, they can't they can't be taken off the circle of crime.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And they can't be taken off the circle of dishonesty.
Yes.
You understand?
So there's dishonesty, there are inducements,
Exactly.
there's conflict of interest, there's all kinds of things that you can find and put people in different categories. And of course, with things that you can define as petty crime, you can define as there's felony and there's misdemeanor, all those kinds of things. But when it comes to corruption, that's actually very specifically for persons in high office or public service.
Right. So if you check the graphic.com, that's the one that you actually said earlier, which the title is Akufo-Addo on how ordinary citizens engage in corruption. The second paragraph says, then he explained it involves breaking traffic regulations and trying to bribe the police officer, not getting proper permits to build a house, looking the other way when something wrong is going on, degradation of the environment, and polluting the atmosphere and water bodies.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that corruption.
No, that's not corruption.
I would just call that...
No, there are different categories of crimes.
Yeah.
So for example, when you attempt to bribe a public officer, if the public officer collects the money, then it becomes a case of corruption. But now who is the corrupt person? It's the public officer.
Yeah, because he is in a higher
He's
level.
the person in the high office and should know better. Do you see?
Right.
And so it becomes corruption, right, in that case. But when you talk about breaking traffic rules, then breaking of the traffic rules itself and polluting the environment itself, it's not a corrupt act.
Right.
There are different definitions for that, but that's not corruption. Not by the English definition, neither by the UN Convention on Corruption. Do you get it? Listen, guys, we want you to call us, okay? Let us know what you think. Call us, share with us your thoughts on this matter that we are discussing. 0204 447 033. Give us a call. Let's know what you think about this. Corruption. Is it truly something that we as citizens should insist on the public officers taking responsibility as public officers, as the definition gives us? Or we should just blame everybody and say that we are all corrupt and so we should all be doing better than we're doing? What do you think? What do you make of it? Right? Call us. It's 0204 447 033. You know what? I want to read the Chronicle story. All right. I want to get into the Chronicle story where the president actually says that corruption is all over the place. All right, and it reads, it's a story by Maxwell Ofori, and it reads, President Nana Akufo-Addo has stated that it is not right to blame only politicians for corruption and that the canker is all over the place. We already have a caller from Koforidua. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Oh, okay.
All right, your name, please.
Kwame Boateng, sir.
Kwame Boateng.
Yes, sir.
Kwame Boateng, what do you make of this?
I'm calling from Koforidua.
Yes, what do you make of this conversation?
What is that? It's not only politicians that are corrupt. You get it? Because sometimes when you go to institutions like State County Planning, Lands Commission, there's a lot of corruption going on.
Yes.
But sometimes, all the time, we attribute it to the politicians.
Yeah.
You get it?
So Kwame,
Yes, sir.
So the definition refers and relates to people in high office. Do you agree with that, or you think all the ordinary citizens can also be corrupt?
Yeah, ordinary citizens can be corrupt.
Okay. Like how?
Yeah, that is where I'm trying to explain to you about when it comes to Lands Commission.
Yeah, but Lands Commission is a high office.
But you are talking about just an ordinary person.
All right, sorry there.
We lost Kwame there.
Kwame, please try and call us back, yeah? All right, so let me continue reading the story here. It says, according to him, it's not only the headline corruption The type that involves politicians and high-profile figures that retards the progress and hinders development, but others as well. The president said this on Thursday, July 13th, 2023, when he opened the 2023 World Convention of the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International, held in Accra. President Kufuor stated, among other things, that breaking rules and regulations, building without permit, and bribing the police all corrupts society. We have another caller from Saboba. Dennis, good morning. Dennis.
Yes.
Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you, boss.
What do you make of this conversation we're having? What do you think?
I will argue with the government because I know very well everybody is corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
But those in high office, they, at the rate at which they engage in all these things is so much.
Okay.
I blame them too much. I don't know why they will go through all the processes with degree and all these documents, big degrees and all these things, and they'll still engage themselves in it and come and pretend as if they're angels. And there are those that can even quote you quotations. I feel pity for them. I don't know. What are they doing to we the youth? What do they want us to learn from them? I'm saying you are in office. You are the one teaching me. You are the one I take to be my role model. And you engage yourself in all these things. Do you think if I get there, I'll stop it? The kind of money you ask me to pay before getting work.
Yeah.
Do you think if I get there, won't I try to get something to replace what I have lost?
Yeah.
So I feel pity for the high-ranking people, and we respect them. It's better they should stop what they are doing and pretending in Ghana than what they are saying that, oh, everybody is corrupt. So if everybody is corrupt, should you be doing it? How best are you trying to stop it?
All right. Thank you very much,
That's
Dennis.
fine.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much. All right. So that's Dennis from Saboba. All right. So we want more callers from Saboba to call us as well. All right. And so what Dennis is saying is very, very, very important, right? We know that all kinds of, wrongdoing is happening everywhere. But when you're in a high office, you're in a place where everyone sees you, and you also have influence. Right, and so what he was referring to about the younger people who are coming up, they're looking at you.
Yes.
This is what they are
And they're gonna
aspiring
yes,
to.
exactly.
Right? So when they see this,
They think
for
it's a
them,
norm.
it's like if that becomes a norm, that's the standard, right? Kwame Boateng.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you were submitting before the line cut.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sorry
Yes. Go
about
ahead.
that, sir. What I was trying to say is that,
Yes.
when it comes to what I saw on your TV, it
Yes.
was whether is it only politicians that are corrupt?
Yes.
So that
Let's
is why I
make
was
it
using my
politicians
TV.
and those in high office.
High office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that is politicians. Is it that's politicians? Those in high office, as in what I was making reference as in Land Commission, right?
Yes, like anybody that is paid with taxpayers' money is a high office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So sometimes maybe among when it comes to viewing the market, when you go to the market,
Yeah.
sometimes maybe, for instance, when there was price hikes,
Yes.
you see maybe the person may have bought maybe an item for maybe 50 cedis. But because it has been like because there are price hikes, they may just increase it, maybe 100 cedis, 120, because the people need it, the item. Yes, it. So sometimes all these factors. And when it comes to even our voting patterns,
Yeah.
you see a kind citizens are most of the time trying to be incited with money,
Yeah.
where they have to get money before voting.
Yeah.
Even coming with these primaries,
Yeah.
everybody's expectation, like the delegates' expectation is that, they will definitely pay us before we vote for them.
So let me ask you, Kwame. You bring a very interesting point. If the politicians all decided that they were not going to pay money this year, if everybody decided that they wouldn't pay money this year, would the delegates not vote because A is not giving, B is not giving, C is not giving, nobody is giving? Right? Because the problem is that when one person doesn't give, but the rest give, then they lean towards the one that's giving.
Right.
Do you see? But if everybody decides not to give, then you don't have a choice. You still got to go and decide who you want. Do you see? So the problem comes from the inducement of the public office. That's what I think. That's how I feel.
Yeah. And when it comes to this politicians paying money before they are being voted, when and no one is paying it, then that is in the bottom of the delegates to vote on their conscience.
Yeah.
As in, who is coming to do the right thing? Who is coming to do this? That is where they do all those analysis. But if everybody is paying, but we still have individuals who, whether they collect the money or not. But I mean, personally, I'll tell you that if you won't go that way, why do you even take the money in the first place? Somebody will say, oh, maybe I'll take the money, but I won't do that. Then that even take the money because it all boils down to corruption.
Right.
Kwame, thank you so much for this morning. Thank you for calling.
Thank you,
I really appreciate it.
So from what he said, yes, there are corrupt people out there, especially in high offices. But some individuals who are not in high offices gain from corruption.
Yes.
Basically, that's what
no,
I'm
I
saying.
mean, I think that there's benefit from corruption. And you see, so it's an interesting thing. If you are a corrupt person, which means you are corruptible, right? You can't be corrupted.
Right.
An ordinary citizen who doesn't have high office can corrupt you.
True.
Do you get it? Because you are a corruptible person. Do you get it? So corruption is not necessarily about, oh, I go to church, so therefore I can't be corrupt. Do you get it? I am this kind of person, or I work in this kind of place. It's your character.
All right. So now let's go to transparency.org. It says, we define corruption as the abuse of entrusted power for private gain.
Oh, I like this definition.
We define corruption as the abuse of entrusted
power for private gain. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you go down the website, you can see corruption erodes trust.
Yeah.
It weakens democracy, hampers economic development, and further exacerbates inequality, poverty, social division, and the environmental crisis.
Yeah. And so literally, that definition is beautiful. Entrusted power.
Yeah, because we have given
for
you...
private gain.
Yes, exactly.
We gave you the power.
We put you there, to take care of us.
So it starts from the politicians, because you know why? They are the ones we vote. And then they who we vote, they appoint.
Right.
Do you get it?
All right, so we have another caller on the line. Hi, Kennedy. Hello, Kennedy. Oh, we lost him right there. Yeah, you were saying something.
I love that definition. Can we put that up again?
Yeah.
See that definition. It's
so you can head to transparency.org and then you will find it. So corruption erodes, let's say, is defined as the abuse of entrusted power for private gain. Entrusted power. So basically, we put you there to take care of us. We actually trust you to take care of us.
Yes. And it says this is a useful point and encompasses corruption in many forms. Of course, there are other definitions that you might use, right? But Transparency International is defining corruption as the abuse of entrusted power for private gain. So that you are in a place of office, we give you authority.
Yes.
Right? So the police officer, for example, you've been given authority. Because you see, if you're not wearing the uniform, we don't know you.
True.
Do you get it? But because of the uniform you're wearing, that's the power you wield.
True.
And you're using it for private gain. That's why we call it corruption.
Okay, so we have Kofi from Sunyani who is joining us this morning. Hi, Kofi.
Hi.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so what's your take on the question of the day?
I think the definition of corruption, as you are going on about it, yes, like I'm saying, I think your definition of the corruption, as you are stating it over there, is a bit narrow. If you even Google the meaning of corruption, one of the definitions says that the action or effect of making someone or something morally depraved example, the corruption of youth was a powerful motive. If you Google, you see it. So it is not only people in high place. You are even talking about putting rubbish in the gutters and all that. You are corrupted. You see, and you corrupt the system if you do that. So it has a wider implication. You even gave an example of the giver and the taker. You think that it's only the taker who is corrupt. You, the giver, is equally corrupt. You are mentally corrupt. That is why you can even think of paying money for something that is already been even paid for, or it's even free. So we have to be morally strong. It is very important for all of us, everybody, and it starts from the home, your home, the parents. You have to teach our children to be strong morally, so that we will all resist this pervasive corruption in the country. Otherwise, we are going nowhere. We cannot blame the people. There will come a time when the people at the top will come to realize that the masses don't support what they do. And I'm not calling for a revolution or anything, but you will see the change that will come eventually. But we have to start from the ground. Most of us are corrupt. That is the point. Most of us. Because we have the mental attitude that we have to pay before we give them. And that is where it starts from. Please. So let us stretch the meaning wider. Otherwise, we are giving excuses for people to go on what they are doing because it's the only people at high places who are corrupt. Right. And therefore, we can pay money and get what we want without any remorse. That is not right.
Do you believe that people in high office should set a better example?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so here's what I think. Just let me know what you think about this I'm about to say. If the person in high office decides that I should set a better example, and therefore, if you attempt to bribe me, you'll be punished for it, and all people in high office behave in this way, I believe that we will be able to weed corruption out of the system by a large proportion. What do you think?
I believe that we will be able to weed corruption out of the system by a large proportion.
It is true, big step. I agree with all that you are saying, but big effect is achieved by small steps. We, as the people that are, down here, we need to have the morality. See, people don't put their hands in fire because they know if you put your hand in fire, it will burn you.
Yes.
When you are paying money to a corrupt official, you know it's wrong. Nobody has to tell you that it is wrong. You know it is wrong. Why do you do it?
Because it's not burning you. Right?
If we all, me, you, everybody, is saying that we are not going to do these things. No, it's burning you. That's the thing. You don't think it is burning you. But we are where we are because of that. It is burning us. That's the thing. You don't think that the small thing that you do doesn't burn you. But we are where we are because we are all contributing to it.
Okay.
So it is burning us very, very massively.
All right.
That is the idea.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the call. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, but he makes a very interesting point. And I think that, what I see about what he's saying is that, look, you're doing it. You, the person who's low down, is making offerings, right, to people who are higher up.
Right.
That in itself is a corrupt act because at the end of the day, it goes round and it affects everybody and it causes the degradation of the system. Okay, but here's where I depart from him. It's the place and the absolute preserve of the person who is receiving when they are in high office, because a high office person is not going to give to a low down person an inducement.
And I also,
do you understand? So it's the person who is in high office who should look at his office and say, you know what? this is not right. Because the person who's low down knows it's not right. Right? But he has to join a queue of 1,000 people.
Right.
So the person in the high office who doesn't have to join any queue should be able to see and say, I don't have to join any queue. Let everybody follow the queue. I won't take this money. Everybody should join the queue and punish the person who is attempting. Yeah. Do you understand? And then sends a signal down the line because you're the one in high office and everybody's looking to you. So if you send a signal, if the person down there sends a signal, it's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Do you see that thing?
So we actually have another caller, Abama from Tamale. Hi, Abama.
Hello.
Good morning, and you're welcome to the show.
Good morning.
All right. So what do you make of this topic?
You see, corruption is even bigger than as we think.
Okay. Explain.
Because yes, let me say the people on the ground apply going through the normal daily life. We are going through a lot.
Yeah.
If you try to apply for a passport, you have to get corrupted to get your passport. If you are applying for a meter, electric meter, you have to be corrupted before you get the meter. If you are applying for a business certificate, registering your business, you have to be corrupted before you get it. This is fact. But if you are...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
He was actually making a point there.
Yeah. No, so interestingly, all the three things he's talked about, passport, visas, and business certificates. Yeah. I've applied for all of these. I didn't go through any corrupt routes, right? The business certificate, this was years ago, I think 2012, 2013, when I registered for it. I went, did the application as normal. I got my certificate after a couple of weeks. The certificate was ready. I went, picked it up. I paid the normal amount that you have to pay. That was it. Now, I found out recently, a friend said to me that, there's a challenge. They're trying to get a passport for their mother, right? And somebody's charging them 2,000 cedis to get a passport. And I said, 2,000 cedis, why? He said, well, that's what they say, right? So then I said, but that's not, I don't think that's proper, right? So then I said, okay, you know what?
2,000 cedis?
Yes.
For a Ghanaian passport?
For a Ghana passport, wow. Right? So then I said,
as Ghanaians?
Yes. So I said, but that's not, doesn't even make any sense to me because it's online.
Just apply.
Yeah, just apply. So then I spoke to a friend of mine who worked in the online section, right? And said, the application is there, go register. You register yourself as the person who's doing the application. You can apply for a number of people. It's on the website. You're allowed to apply for a number of people, right? So I told her. So then she went ahead, filled it in, and applied for her mother. And guess what? Paid the normal fees. I think it was 150 for the expedited service. Got the documents. Went into the premium center at Circle.
Yeah.
And then found out that at the premium center at Circle there are two queues. There's the VIP, which you just pay. I think at the time it was 85 cedis extra, right? And then there's the ordinary queue that you don't pay anything extra. So then it's your choice. When you get in, you see there's a VIP. So she went and paid for the VIP. I think it was like 3 or 4 days later, she got a message, your passport is ready. Do you understand? So I'm asking myself that, yes, we've run a system for years of Goro boys who claim to, give me money, I will do it for you.
Sure.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
But the system, thank you.
Yeah, a system of
and we
misinformation.
don't even realize and appreciate that the system has cleared up a very large extent. The system has actually cleared up. So you can actually go through the normal process and there's no issue involved.
It's true.
You don't have to pay anybody extra. You don't have to con anybody. Just go through the normal system. Go online and apply.
Yeah, and even with
it may take a couple of days.
No, even with the lines
weeks,
that you just talked about,
yes.
Like the normal line and the VIP line, an ignorant person that does not know what is happening.
Yes, what is happening there will misconstrue it as something dubious is happening.
Yes.
They are paying extra money for whatever, but it's there and it's written clearly. It's when you walk into the premium center, it says there, VIP this and that. It gives you all the details. It's all there. So if you want it, you choose it. Same thing with the driver's license. When you get there, they tell you it's all written there. If you want your passport, I don't know if they have the immediate one.
Yes.
I think they do. Then they have the one where there's 2 weeks. They have the one where there's, I think it's 3 months.
True.
Do you see?
Yeah.
And so depending on which one you want, you just pay for it.
And depending on the urgency, exactly.
You just pay. There's really nothing untoward going on. It's clear. But we are so used to, we need someone to lead us, do you see, into the place of power. We need someone.
Right.
And so it's like we have to find money and pay the person. But the system has cleared up to a large extent.
Right.
You don't need anybody.
Right. So we have Ohene from Insta1 joining us. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
How are you, Ohene?
I'm fine, madam.
Okay, you're welcome to the show. So what do you make of this topic?
Yeah, what the president said is right. In fact, the corruption involved in Ghana, we the civilians, we are more corrupt than politicians. At times, if you look at what the politicians do, they endorse that we, the citizens, we take corruption to the politicians. If we change our mind and make ourselves not corrupt, politicians cannot be corrupt. Look at how a common fund has been given. A delegate's wife is sick. Someone says he's a party executive. He wants the money to be used on her life, but not purpose for the social amenities that will help the community.
Right.
Hello?
Yeah, we're listening.
That's why I'm saying we, the citizens, we are corrupt than the politicians. We are giving room for them to operate under our own umbrella. Yeah, officer.
If let's say there are 1,000 people, you and your friends, all right,
yes,
and you walk into an office to go and look for a job, and 3 of your friends have $1 million Ghana cedis to pay to get the job, and the rest of you don't have that much money, all right, and the person who is sitting there who can sign to give you the job is not a corrupt person, who is the one who has the power to decide whether who gets the job or not? Is it not the one who has more authority, or is it the one who is lower down who needs the job?
Each and everyone has his own role to play. The one who is sitting there to employ, know the right should not be taking the money.
Yes.
But when there we are 3, we are supposed to take 2.
Yeah.
Immediately we were one going there, but when we reach there and we know that it is only 2 they can take, then we begin to put the corruption activities on the ground for the person to become corrupt.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
And one thing,
yes,
you, the media, you should help us to. We are giving room to corruption to operate. False stories are now the ones you, the media, you bring it out more than the corrupt. They're the one that is authentic. Every time any information that is false, there's more media attention on it. That's why now we, the citizens, we find it that once the message is false, if you put yourself in, you get money out of there.
Yeah.
It is it that is destroying the country now.
All right. Thank you.
The patriotism in Ghana has now lost.
Yeah.
We will take of self-interest first, but not business interest. That's why we have MPP, NDC, but we don't talk issues about Ghana.
Yeah.
We always talk issues about MPP, NDC.
Yeah.
And every time we want to bring things into the right direction, we change it MPP, NDC.
All right. Thank you very much, Oyebe, for speaking with us. Of course, you know that here at Citi, credibility is our trump card, and we believe that everything has to be verified, doubly checked before we put it out. And so, keep watching Citi TV, listening to 97.3 Citi FM, and follow us on our online portals, citinewsroom.com, and all the other portals as well.